If you've watched this channel before, you know that I love to create my own art. But I really appreciate art of all sorts. Sometimes I go to a thrift store and see what gems I can find among the live, laugh, love pictures. And true story, last year, near where I lived, a local thrift store sold a 2,000-year-old Roman bust for the low price of $34.99. And fortunately for Dennis, that is what the purchaser named him, he is being repatriated to Germany to its rightful owners. Viel Glück, Dennis. And I'm excited. I think I may have found something interesting behind the Hang In There kitty poster. Well, hello guys. Let me show you what I got. Now this appears to be a reproduction of a painting, and it says at the bottom, Malines-Belgium, and Carl Van, or maybe it's Von, and I can't really decipher the last part, Geigel, Gigish, I don't know. I looked it up online and no one seems to know the name, and the only reference I can find are other reproductions on eBay. So you see that some of these are numbered, and they are selling for maybe about $3, but I've seen them go as much as $20, and maybe even more than that with inflation, So with something with this sort of mysterious provenance, there is a good chance this is just an undiscovered master's work, lithographically reproduced by an unknown scholar in the field. The backing looks to have some wear and some water damage, but let's open it up and see how the inside is doing. Alright. Oh, the backing looks good. What is this? Holy, looks like a note. Let's see. Let's take a look at what it says here. It looks like it's pretty old. Oh, interesting. Oh, it is old. Oh my gosh. What does it say?
Dear Sir or Madame, if you are reading this, you have come across the reproduction of my painting Malines-Belgium. No doubt in order to restore it to its original condition after many years of being displayed lovingly. To you, I give thanks for your appreciation and dedication to raising the beauty that the calendar oft do erase. I have surely long since shrugged this mortal coil, and thus I beseech you, as a living soul in the distant future, to see to it that my masterpiece, Malines-Belgium, is restored as I originally envisioned it. Surely in all of the books written about my life and works, you will have heard that this piece was wrenched from my easel before I was finished, as is the case with such works that will undoubtedly sell like hot waffles. What I had intended was to depict these canal scenes as a metaphor for the nature of innocence, disrupted by the unforeseen monsters of life. Innocence is symbolized by the white rabbit blissfully enjoying the canal waters, but lo, the darkness of evil lurks, fuzzy as its moral compass, and purple as a bruise. Can you capture my vision in your mind, and more importantly, on the canvas? Kind artistic regards, Carl van Ziegel van Carl van Giekijk, Carl.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I've been struck by a unicorn. I mean, me, collaborating with the one and only Carl van Siegel Giggle Geesh. Me. Well, I absolutely will do my best. I'm no master, but I do have art supplies and I'm not very afraid to use them. Fortunately, the reproduction on this is on a pretty thick cardboard, as you'd expect from someone like Carl. So it'll be able to take paint and pencils and markers and probably even Play-Doh if I get really serious with this. I thought I'd start with the white bunny of Innocence. Now, Carl was not entirely clear, but in order to truly enjoy the canal waters, I felt the bunny should captain a small boat along the Dilo River. I wanted to brighten the subject up, as it represents innocence, so I introduced a white gouache to cover over some of the original's darkness. And starting with that white, I could then tone it down with some other colors. The painting as a whole has a yellowish cast to it, so I'm not going to leave much bright white, but I'll use a light yellow, and that should read as white in the composition when it is compared to the rest of it. I decided I'd borrow from the red roofs in the background as the color for this boat. And when I examined Carl's palette that he used on this piece, he isn't using highly saturated colors. So I thought I'd tone it down with some browns and greens beforehand before adding red. And I thought I'd be able to get away with using colored pencils, but I ended up needing some water to even out everything, even out the textures and everything. You know, as I said, I'm not a master. I'm learning as I go. Just an apprentice to Mr. C. Gigglishil. And after trying this rinky-dink method for a while of using colored pencils and water, the ghost of Carl told me,
Use the gouache, Luke.
And so I did. And it worked much better. Thank you, Carl. But let's not forget the unforeseen monster of life. Here I was able to use colored pencils alone. I believe that it's because I was just being additive with colors, always getting darker, more purple and more purple, like a bruise. Also, the monster was to be fuzzy, like its moral compass. And pencils can do a lot to keep that fuzzy feel. Additionally, Carl signed this masterwork in pencil, so I feel like this was a mixed media piece anyway. Through a process of tireless layering of pencil upon pencil upon pencil upon cardboard reproduction, I was able to achieve a fuzzy purple monster I feel Carl would have approved of. So, to the ghost of Carl, I present Malines-Belgium in all its glory, fully restored as you originally intended. The brilliance of the symbolism is only surpassed by the surprise that this work isn't more widely known. May the unforeseen monsters of life never tear us down, nor keep us from the enjoyment of the crystal clearish canal waters of our innocence. We salute you, Carl von Sigilgish. And I salute you, viewers of art history. Go forth and spread the gospel of Carl. Until next time, my friends, be well. And we'll have another video for you next week. Bye-bye.